Help, I'm trapped on YouTube. Oh my god, now I've really messed up the focus trying to do my stupid joke. Real talk. I haven't been able to leave this house for a while because of reasons. But I did do something else that's very useful this week. So, have a look at this. Oh, okay, it's pink. So, for anyone that's never seen this room, it's not going to be a big deal, but I'm going to admit to you that I had never actually painted a wall before. This is a big wall. You know, for my first wall, I think I've done well. So actually, like, this is now my third wall, the pink one, because I did this, I did the ceiling, if we're going to count the ceiling. This colour is Berry Smoothie, look at that. Which is somewhat ironic, because Berry Smooth is how I zoom into people's faces during these vlogs. Oh my god. I've been thinking about 2080s a lot. Two things in particular. You know, what to release first. Going to a music studio later this week, so that's a cool thing. I'll bring you with me. What is the rest of the release schedule like in terms of videos, in terms of other stuff? None of that's important if I don't get it right, basically, in terms of the theme. Like, the music is written, but this is being performed live. It's a show. And so what's the thing I've got to get right here? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to call this the dramaturgy. How the dramatic elements of what I do on stage relate to, you know, this isn't theatre studies, this is me talking rubbish to you. It's that thing, okay? What's it called? You have half a second to impress me. So I wrote down all the things I could think of that felt to me like that's what I mean when I say that phrase. You have half a second to impress me. Frustration about the fraction of time we have to make an impression. Lack of patience. Constant overstimulation. The requirement to constantly produce. The transactional nature of art. Everything has to be shocking or attention-grabbing or valuable, in inverted commas. Did you see what I did there? That was inverted commas. Okay, so here's a question, even better. I'm thinking about, again, we're just thinking about here, you have half a second to impress me. How does our constant overstimulation and the desire for the next attention-grabbing moment influence our relationship with ourselves? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. What if the show is splitting the screen? If I'm going to perform behind a screen in silhouette, what if the show splits the screen, comparing the real version of ourselves, me hiding behind the screen, real, with the digital version, fully on display, but not real, you know, in the screen. Therefore, the question is, which is more real? If the show can seek to dramatize and answer that question, I think we've made art. And that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. I am not messing about. Let's make some art, baby. One more time. You have half a second to impress me is the show, the 2080s show. How does our constant overstimulation and desire for the next attention-grabbing moment influence our relationship with ourselves? If this was going to be at some artsy whatever gallery and you were going to read that really big, long piece of writing before you look at the exhibition, that's what it would say on this piece of writing before you watch this show. And you'd be like, whatever, while you sip your, you know, disgusting £2 rosé. And then you go in, and hopefully it blows your mind. Not the rosé. I already performed a version of the show, right? In High Wycombe earlier this year with BB, and I talked about that in the last episode, vlogisode, whatever. I live in Wrexham. BB is, you know, where she is. We are not in the same place. BB's got studying to do. She's not going to be with me. I'm with Signdance the whole month before this performance all over the world, so I'm not really connected to the things that are here. I'm going to have to do this on the move, which prevents me from really using the same version of the show. But it does present an opportunity to remodel it and use that deep dive I did into the philosophy of the arts and the questions it's posing to actually, you know, within myself get something out of me that I wasn't able to maybe express in the summer that's better. So let's have a look at that version of the summer, shall we? The whole thing starts with a prelude, you know, a piece of music to introduce us to the world, and I think that should still be in there. And it's kind of funky. I'll play a little bit. I mean, forgive me here if you're a sound designer watching this, but it's the audio word for close-up, where you hear sounds close-up. I'm thinking we start with like a cityscape, contrasting it with something different, like where we'll be in Florida, where it'll be really peaceful and like a beach. And we contrast these two things, and we'll have like a buzzing phone, and then we'll have like hands going through hair, like... And those kind of like micro sounds you get when you're with yourself, and you're kind of like, you know, like the tapping. Those kind of close-up sounds, and I want it to layer and layer and build while this is playing. all the noises. Yeah, great. Okay, you see where I'm going with this. Lots of layers, lots of noises. And then it's going to kind of like, oof, you know, like plateau and then come back in with track number 1, which is Confidence. So with that track, we basically made a music video of BB around central London, right? And the whole purpose was like that kind of contrasting of like being by yourself and is it a dream and all this kind of thing and like what is confidence? And I still want to keep that in there. But I want to relate that idea, that question of what is confidence to the other question of, you know, what is the real version of me? Is it the confident version on the screen or is it the confident version behind the screen? So, confidently, I think I'm going to have to remake that video as a music video but with myself. Because it's just me. Then we have a track called 610. I'll play a little bit of 610. So it's a lot of bass, a lot of stuff again, drum tracks and stuff, like, and it's quite funky. This was used in the summer to introduce the digital person behind the screen. So there was some choreography behind the screen as I kind of got a chair and I sing and stuff into the microphone, and it's all looks very pretty, like the pink that's on my face right now. Bright pink. Like my room. So I'm going to keep that in there. That's basically going to be the same thing. Great. So we've now got an intro with Confidence, the track, where it shows the digital world and kind of the video with the close-ups and everything of the digital version of myself. And then we're going to contrast that with just purely the silhouette. Anyway, track 3, I was really hurting my head. I think it's going to be a song called Hit List, which I'm very proud of. I wrote it at a piano. I hadn't written a song at a piano for ages. I think I wrote it in 2020, end of 2020 maybe. So yeah, a while back. So we've introduced the digital version, the version on the screen. We've introduced the version behind the screen. Now let's have a split screen where I kind of duet with myself. And I think the digital version of me will play the piano. And it'll match because we'll sync the audio with the visuals nicely. And then we'll have the version of me in silhouette, you know, on the vocals and the additional high synthesizers or the bass or something. I think I want to add in a track called Déjà Vu, which is very heavy-hitting, powerful, energetic synthesizer pop. And it's going to be like a massive contrast to that piano, but it will build up nicely in the way the keys are together, because I thought about this musically, to be honest. I really did think about it. It's going to come up and it's going to sound great. Déjà Vu. That's where I'm kind of stuck in terms of the visuals. I've nearly got there, but like, what was in the original version in High Wycombe was a track called Style, because there was only 3 tracks, but I need 5 now because the show needs to be 20 minutes. We had BB come back and she was behind, and we were combining the silhouette work with her dance with the visual work. So I was mashing together the colours from the video for 610, the visual imagery from the video for Confidence, and then also BB, just generally speaking, was doing some great choreography. So visually it was like beautiful. Déjà Vu, perhaps a return to the close-up audio and visuals of the phone, you know, the hair, whatever, to kind of break the harmony. And I think I like that idea a lot because Déjà Vu, some of the purpose of the track is that we're stuck in these loops that keep going around and around. We might not even notice it, blah, 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 blah. Again, you know, baby's first philosophy book, whatever. You can fill in the blanks. But ultimately, you know, breaking that harmony is important because then we want to get to the final track, which is Style, which the version in High Wycombe was beautiful. Like I say, it was BB's choreography combined with all the imagery before to make this really impactful finish where you actually fully get confronted with the question, what is more real? And I'm hoping I can use then the split screen for Hit List with the duet and the piano and me singing and stuff live, combined with then bringing back the elements from the intro and the prelude and Confidence and 610 into Déjà Vu to kind of make this mad synthesizer thing as it all starts to go a bit awry and starts to go a bit all over the place, and then oof, back to calm. Maybe that shot of the beach in Florida again if I can get it. And Style, the final track to close out the whole thing. Because Style is like quite a nice funky pop song. I'll play just a second of it here. Very nice. We'll kind of go mad during Déjà Vu and then everything will settle back down again. And then I think the grand finale is asking that question. You've seen the music video, just the digital stuff on the screen. You've seen just the stuff behind the screen with the colours and the choreography. You've seen this kind of duet, and then you've seen it go all a bit mad, and then finally, here is the question. You have half a second to impress me. What's more real for you? How does our constant overstimulation and desire for the next attention-grabbing moment influence our relationship with ourselves? Honest question, okay? If the show is splitting the screen, comparing the real version of ourselves, me, behind the screen, but in silhouette, where you can't see me or any detail about me, comparing with the digital version of me on the screen, pixels, not real, fully curated, but my god, bold, colourful, everything you could want. Which is more real? Now, if I can get to a point where you're enjoying the music and the visuals and it builds up, and maybe you're watching it and ideally, you know, time stops if we get this right, okay? And you're just kind of like, wow, this looks really cool, or this is interesting. But then finally, I want it to hit you. Do you know what I mean? I want that question to come out. And it's got to confront you. You've kind of got to be like, wow. Whether you realize it or not, I want you to be asking those questions. That's what I'm aiming for. And I think we did that in the summer. I think we really did. But because it's just myself, moi, it's a little bit trickier. So, if you can't tell, I've been really, really thinking about this. I'm in the recording studio later this week. I'm going to finish writing this dramaturgy out to a script. I'm going to get my hair dyed. I'm going to shoot it. I will get it right. I will get it wrong. And you know what the funny thing is? Like right now, I'm talking all this rubbish and making all these notes. But just about 4 to 6 weeks from now, it'll be done. It'll be over. I'll have been to all these countries. I'll have shot all this stuff. I'll look different. The music will be recorded. We'll have some plans in place. And just like that, it'll almost be there. And then April, the performance, God knows where else happens. You know, whether I play other places, whatever. Hopefully, people really enjoy it. But like, don't you just love that? It could all go wrong. There's only 4 weeks to go. So let's see. I'm very excited about this. Thank you for watching this, if you watched to this point, and do go follow 2080s, because that's where I'm going to start posting the stuff later this week. Thank you again so much, and yeah. I'll see you next time, probably in the music studio. Ta-da!